give it up to the youth. Loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins, that orange and the green running through and through. Cause you know we run it, your squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Authentic bitch deep with pros in abundance, get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming. Let's give it up to the youth, loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins, that orange and the green running through and through. Cause you know we run it, your squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Authentic bitch deep with pros in abundance, get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming.
What's good, Miami Hurricane fans? All right, the Hurricanes dropped a very close game today to the Louisville Cardinals, which the Louisville Cardinals was playing for the ACC, the punch their ticket to the ACC title game, which they did. They over this game. If you say Miami would have scored 31 points today and still find some way to lose, then hey, I think I would be disappointed. I mean, after all the speculation from the last couple of weeks here and there, the Miami Hurricanes been losing a lot of close games. They've been in some games where the offense didn't do well. There was in some games that turnovers was an issue. So now Tyler Van Dyke, which had a very, 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 very good game. But the defense was the problem. The defense that was pretty much the cornerstone for this franchise, this team throughout the whole season. I mean, we played Clemson, we played Texas A&M, we played Florida State that we lost by 7. The defense kept us in. But for today, you got to tip your hats off to Louisville because they kept this Miami Hurricane team off balance because they used Miami's aggressive defense to beat them. I mean, if you look about score by quarter, if you look at it all, first quarter, Louisville scored 6-0. Then Miami came back on a Fletcher 21-yard run that made it 7-7. Then Miami went up with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Strepo that made it 14-7. Now, Miami had opportunities to push this lead out more, but it seemed like they kind of got conservative, which they knew Louisville was not about to take their foot off the gas at all. Louisville played aggressive the whole game. They made Miami work. They kept the defense off balance. Now, the defense did make plays here and there, but did they make the plays that they needed to down the stretch? No, they did not. And then Louisville came back in the first quarter. Gerardo rushed for 12 yards and a touchdown that made it 14-14. Now, that was good because they showed balance. You know, both teams were giving each other their best punch. Then Miami took the lead 21-14 with Bashar Smith ran when he did had an I guess you could say reverse or in the round that was for 34 yards for a touchdown. Miami took the lead. Then Miami stopped Louisville in that between that time. And then when Miami got the ball, if they went up and put another points on the board, even with 24 or 28 points, then you would have made Louisville play a little bit different. Then your defense could have adjusted as necessary, but they didn't. So what happened? Louisville drove down the field, scored a touchdown, but they missed the extra point, which Miami still had the lead going into halftime, 21-20. Now, third quarter began. Louisville marched down the field, got them a 30-yard or 40-yard field goal by Lopez. Louisville took the lead, 23-20, draw down the field also. Like about around about 5:52 in the game. Miami draw down the field, 27-23. Well, make it 28-23. So, but guess what? Comes the fourth quarter, Miami led going in halftime. Louisville come out in the third quarter led. Miami took the lead going into the fourth quarter. This is where you thought Miami could have been rolling. They could have been rolling strong, but no. Louisville went down there for a 5-yard touchdown, 29. Well, they made it, yeah, no, actually they made it 31, 31 28 because they went to the 2-point conversion and they got it. So if they missed it, it would have been 29-28. Then Miami went down the field. They got a 51-yard field goal by Morales to tie it up 31. But as with 4 minutes left in the game, Coleman took it 58 yards for a touchdown, and that was the difference in the game. And Miami could never recover because 2 of the defenders crashed into each other. Now, could Miami hold them if that play? They was able to stop that play and made them get a field goal, because then when Miami got the ball, they did drove down the field, but they couldn't punch the ball in to the end zone. They could have ran the ball. I think they ran the ball on first down or did some kind of. This is where you should have used Ja'Cory Brown at. Right here, Ja'Cory Brown would have been a little bit helpful in this game. But I guess they wanted Tyler Van Dyke to redeem himself. And then that was the game. Stat-wise, Tyler Van Dyke had a good game. He only was sacked once today. That's a good thing. The offensive line, and you from Munga, the brother defense. Oh my gosh! But Rashard Smith for that 34 yards in the round, he flattened out that guy. He flattened him out, and that's what an offensive line is supposed to be like. I would love to get him in the NFL draft, when it's time comes for the Washington Commanders. Mark Fletcher had an awesome day. He ran his butt off. He had 17 carries for 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Longest run was 54 yards. He had a great day. Chaney didn't have a good day. Parrish neither. I was wondering what AJ was, because AJ, to me, AJ and Fletcher combination works. AJ is a little bit more stronger and more faster. And I just don't know what happened to Henry Parrish. I mean, even Xavier Morales had a hell of a day. He almost had 200 yards receiving in this game. 200 yards receiving he almost had in this game. So he had 193 on 8 receptions. He was targeted 10 times. Jacoby George had 55 yards. He cost us a penalty towards the end when he didn't get it. He felt like he was held, rightfully so, but you got to keep your cool. I mean, Miami haven't showed discipline. Now, there was a bunch of recruits out there today, so hopefully Miami showcase that, hey, you know what, this team is not that far away from to competing, so hopefully that this game didn't hurt us. Kobe Young, he only had 7 targets, 6 of them for 30 yards. He was kind of like a non-factor in this game, really. So all the targets, really, if you think about it, was going to Jacoby George, Horton, Kobe Young, and Fletcher. They was the only balance out there. Morales, he was 1 for 1 with that 51-yarder. I just feel like we've been letting games get away. We've been letting a lot of games get away, and like the announcer said today, if Miami had corrected some of this and got some of these games, they could have easily been playing for the ACC championship game right now. Easily. They would have been easily playing for this ACC championship game. But they not finishing games. It's either one thing. Now, granted, the defense played their worst game of the year. The worst game. And I still didn't see if they made any adjustments to this in this game at all. I didn't see it. I didn't really see it. So I feel like Miami let another game get away. Because honestly, if the defense is had played the way they played Florida State, 31 points would have been enough to win. They probably could have held on to 14 or 17 points. I don't know what Lance Gitry did in this game. I can't fault Mario in this game. You know, the referees, as always, don't give us what we need. You know what I'm saying? We're getting flagged for something. You got to think. So the time of possession in this game was Miami 29-39, Louisville 30-21. So they control the the time of possession by like a minute and a half or so, or whatever. Total yards. Miami gave up 470 yards, and that's 308 of it through passing and 162 on the ground. Because you got to think, Louisville was able to run the ball on the two, and they was doing things that Florida State did against them, but they just took it a different level because they was doing a lot of mixed direction for Miami. They was making sure, they was making sure Miami stayed off balance. And I think Lance Gitry did not do that. And if you think about it, it's almost the same thing that it did, Louisville did, that North Carolina did. When Miami was bending their ears back in the first half to three quarters, what North Carolina did, they went up tempo, kept them off balance, and then they started gashing them for big yardage here and there. So got to give it up. Now, Miami did have 486 yards in total yards and 327 in passing and 159 rushing. So if you look at it, both of these teams was pretty much, if you look at it, none of them stopped each other. Because what was worse, if you put Ja'Cory Brown in the game at some point to help out, Ja'Cory Brown could have got a lot of yards from from RPOs. He could easy break, because that's what Louisville have a hard time with. They barely beat Georgia Tech at the beginning of the season when they played them. So Georgia Tech exposed them. But they had a 159-yard rush. So first downs, Louisville had a little bit more, but 26-21. Penalties, Miami had 5. Turnovers, Louisville had that one interception by Cam Kitchens. He played a solid game, but not enough to bring the game. They gave up 1 sack. They ran 65 plays to 71. So Miami falls to 6-5 on the season. Now they have Boston College the last game of the season. Whether they're going to start Tyler Van Dyke or let Ja'Cory Brown start in this last game, I don't know. I don't know for sure what's going to happen. But Miami need to win this game to go 75. They had a chance in their hand right now to go 8-4. There was a lot in this game. Like the North Carolina game, they probably would have been their own one loss. Everything else, they should have won. Every game, even a Florida State game, they should have won that game. And I still believe if Emory Williams did not get hurt, I think Miami probably would have been able to pull this game out and pull that Florida State game out. That's just my opinion. That's just my thoughts on it. Bama Adebayo, the center for the Miami Hurricanes, he tweeted out, and Mario Cristobal coaching record through their first 2 seasons. Mark Richt was 19-7. Manny Diaz was 14-10. Al Golden was 13-11. When it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm the best. That's what he said. Mario Cristobal. But this shows how far we have to go. Starts with you, Mario. I can't believe, you know what I'm saying? And rightfully true. You know what I'm saying? Rashard Smith with 2 bad penalties in the game, slapping. You know, come on. You can't have these kind of mental breakdowns. Mario going to have to teach that. He going to have to teach some kind of discipline. You know what I'm saying? These guys cannot play like that. And I understand that Jacoby George was upset. He had a right to be. The referee sitting there, if you had called that pass interference play, if you had called that play, Miami would have the ball 1st and 10 on the goal line with a potential chance to punch it in to tie the game and send the game into overtime. But they did not. That's the point. They did not. So, but give, like I said, give Louisville credit. I mean, this is the first time they beat Miami at home. And Xavier Strepo caught the Hail Mary and couldn't turn. I wish there was another receiver around he could have just pitched it to, and they would have been able to run it in. So, I mean, hey, that would have been a spectacular play. But now Louisville has to play Florida State. That's going to be a good game. You know what I'm saying? But Miami falls short again. Miami, since they've been in the ACC, have not played for the ACC title. You have seen Pitt, North Carolina, Clemson, now Louisville, and Florida State. I think Boston College even played for it. Miami has not sniffed. They have not sniffed the ACC title game. They have not. Almost every team has played in there except for Miami. And it's just going plainly Tyler Van Dyke was hurt during the game. He had a leg injury. He played through it. But nevertheless, he played well. He had the first touchdown in months. He didn't turn the ball over. He threw no interceptions for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Cardinals, the Plummer, he had 3 touchdown passes. I mean, it was carving us up, and they spread the ball out. He spread the ball out against us. They kept the defense off balance. They ran in the first quarter. For the first quarter. They ran the same screenplay all the way down to the end of the field. They ran it down for a touchdown. Miami never adjusted to it. Now, where do Miami go from here? Who knows right now? But I do believe Miami needs a true quarterback. They need to look if the dude for Washington State plans on transfer. Miami need to get him. They need to get him for real. They need to get him, or they need to look for somebody else to bring that could really, because with JoJo trade on that's coming in next year, Miami gonna have to be more explosive. They're gonna have to do things differently that they have not done before. So, with that being said, Miami falls again. Mario, if he goes 6-6 on the season, that's only a 1-game improvement for last year. Mario had a chance to go 2 games. Let me see. They were 5-7 last year. No bowl. They are bowl eligible this year. But they could be 6-6 by the end of the season. And guess what? That's only a 1-game improvement from last year, when you could have had probably a 5-game improvement. You started the season 4-0, and then you just falter in the second half. You falter in the second half. But in the second half, you only won 2 games. No, you won 3 games. You beat Virginia. You beat Florida. You beat Clemson. Yeah, rightfully so. You only won 2 games in the second half of the season. Clemson and Virginia. You lost everything else. So, it's sad, and we can't sit here and point at. Mario got to take some of the blame, but do you think? I think he's still the coach. Yeah, I'm gonna back him because I feel like he's still the coach. But at the same time, he's going to have to bring guys in there that's disciplined. The offensive line played their ass off today. They played their ass off. The defensive line, not so great. The defense didn't play good today. Don't know what's going on with that. That's a lot of questions. But Stay tuned to my Tuesday edition Kings on the Daily when I break down more and talk about some recruits and a little bit go over this game and see who we place the blame on. Until then, this is your boy Lyle Sports. Go you. I'm out.